All right, welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. As always, we are going to take all of the great info we've got from our sources and really try to dig deep into it all.
Yeah, and like you said, today's a bit different. Instead of like the typical in-depth discussion, we thought, let's make this a bit more interactive, a bit more fun.
Yeah, I mean, we thought maybe like a quiz or something.
A quiz, yeah, exactly.
So, today's topic, we're diving into the career of Novak Djokovic.
One of the absolute best in the sport, no question.
No question. And we found some great sources outlining all his achievements.
So, yeah, from those sources, we've pulled out 25 key questions that kind of span his whole career.
So it'll be interesting, right?
Yeah, definitely.
To see what people already know. Mm-hmm. And maybe what some surprising things might come up, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so here's how we're going to play. We'll give you a question and then 3 possible answers.
And then after you've had a moment to consider the options, we'll give a little background.
A bit of a backstory.
And context.
And then, of course, we'll reveal the answer.
Sound good.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, question number 1.
All right, question 1. When did Novak Djokovic officially turn pro? Was it
A, 2001?
B, 2003?
Or C, 2005?
So turning pro is that really big moment for any athlete. It's when they decide, okay, this is it. I'm fully committed to this as a career.
Yeah, it's that point of no return, right?
Exactly. And for Djokovic, this decision really marked the beginning of this, meteoric rise.
Okay, so the year Djokovic took that leap and turned pro was B, 2003.
All right, question 2. How many Grand Slam singles titles?
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, a huge one. How many Grand Slam singles titles does Novak Djokovic have as of today?
Based on what our sources are telling us.
Right.
Is it D22 or C26? Now, for anyone who isn't a super tennis fan, the Grand Slams, these are the 4 biggest tournaments in the world. The Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, U.S. Open.
These are the pinnacle. So even winning one, that's like a monumental achievement. But winning multiple, that puts you among the legends of the sport.
Yeah, and especially with the level of competition we've seen in Djokovic's era.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been incredibly competitive.
To win even one is, like you said, it's unbelievable. But
right.
To win multiple, yeah, it's like next level.
Okay, are you ready for the answer?
Let's hear it.
He has won a staggering 24 Grand Slam singles titles.
Wow, 24.
That's amazing.
Okay, so question 3. This was interesting. Which tournament did Djokovic win to complete his career Golden Slam?
Ooh, career Golden Slam.
That's a good one.
So is it
A, the Australian Open?
B, the French Open?
Or C, the Olympic Games?
Now, just to clarify, the career Golden Slam is not just about winning all 4 Grand Slams.
Right. It's winning all 4 majors plus an Olympic gold medal in singles.
Yeah.
And that is super rare. Only a handful of players have ever done it.
It's a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
Because it shows you can perform at the highest level in, under different conditions.
Absolutely different pressures. The patriotic element is a big thing in the Olympics. Okay, so the tournament that secured the career Golden Slam for Djokovic was C, the Olympic Games.
All right, question 4. In what year did Djokovic claim his first ever Australian Open title? Was it
2008?
2008.
And Lurrie C, 2011.
So the Australian Open, that's always the first Grand Slam of the year, right? And for a lot of players, it sets the tone for the whole season. If you win it, it can give you this incredible boost of confidence.
And it can be brutal. I mean, that heat in Melbourne.
Yeah, it can be super intense. It really adds another layer of challenge.
So the year Djokovic had his big breakthrough, his first win in Melbourne was A, 2008.
Question 5. This one's about those rankings. For how many weeks in total has Djokovic held the world #1 ranking?
Okay, so is it
400 weeks.
B, 428 weeks?
Or C, 450 weeks.
Being ranked #1 in the world in any sport, that's like the ultimate recognition of being at the very top of your game.
Yeah, it means consistently performing at the highest level week after week, tournament after tournament. And to hold on to that top spot for a long time, well, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's about consistency.
Yeah. I mean, think about all the players that Djokovic has had to face during his career.
Some of the best to ever play the game.
Exactly. So to stay ahead of them for so long is just...
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
All right, so the answer, the total number of weeks Djokovic has been ranked #1 is B, 428 weeks.
That is insane. That's longer than...
I mean, it's hard to even wrap your head around that.
I know. It's hard to comprehend. That's a huge chunk of time.
Okay, question 6. This one's about finishing the year at the top.
Mm-hmm.
What's the record for most year-end #1 finishes held by Djokovic?
So we're talking about, is it
B, 6 times.
B?
7 times.
Or C, 8 times. Now, Ending the year as the #1 player, it's like another level of achievement. It shows you've been the best, most consistent player throughout the entire season.
Yeah, you've accumulated the most ranking points, beating out everyone else over those 12 months. That's not easy.
It's a measure of your dominance over the whole year.
Yeah.
So the answer is C. 8 times. Wow, 8. That just really highlights his consistent, incredible level of play over so many years.
Yeah, he really seems to be able to peak exactly when he needs to.
Absolutely.
All right, question 7. Against which player has Djokovic won the most Grand Slam finals? Now, this is about those head-to-head battles.
In the biggest moments. So we're talking
B, Roger Federer.
B, Rafael Nadal.
Or C, Andy Murray.
Yeah, those Grand Slam finals, there were legends are made. It's not uncommon to see the same handful of players battling it out for these major titles year after year.
Yeah, and how Djokovic has performed in those huge matches against his biggest rivals, that's a big part of his legacy.
Right, that's where you really cement your place in history.
Yeah.
So who has he faced and defeated the most in those crucial Grand Slam finals?
It's B, Rafael Nadal. Talk about a legendary rivalry, right?
Yeah, that's considered one of the greatest rivalries, not just in tennis, but in all of sports.
Okay, question number 8. This one is about those ranking points. What is the highest career ranking points total ever achieved by Novak Djokovic? So is it
A, 15,000 points.
B, 16,950 points.
Or C, 17,500 points.
So just to remind everyone, those ATP ranking points, they're how a player's standing is determined. The more points you get, the higher you climb. And getting a really high point total, well, that means you've been winning a lot of matches.
Yeah, a lot of big matches, too, in the biggest tournaments. So reaching a really high total like that, it's like a mark of true dominance.
Yeah, it means you're basically unbeatable for a stretch of time.
Right. Okay, so the answer, the highest total Djokovic has ever reached is B, 16,950 points.
Wow, that's incredible.
That must have been an amazing time to watch him play. He was just on another level.
Almost untouchable.
Absolutely.
All right, question number 9. At which of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments has Djokovic won the most titles? Now, as we know, each Grand Slam has its own unique challenges.
Its own surface, its own atmosphere.
Yeah, and some players, they just thrive at certain tournaments more than others.
Yeah. So for Djokovic, which one has been his most successful hunting ground?
Is it A, Wimbledon?
B, the U.S. Open?
Or C, the Australian Open?
I think a lot of people know this one.
I think so, too.
He's been so dominant at this particular tournament.
Yeah, and the answer is C, the Australian Open. It's just incredible how many titles he has in Melbourne.
All right, question 10. In what year did Djokovic win his Olympic gold medal in singles? Was it?
Hey, 2016.
2020. Or 2024. Now, the Olympics, it's something special. It's that chance for athletes to represent their country on the world stage. And an Olympic gold medal, that's a pretty big deal no matter what the sport is.
Yeah, it's the ultimate symbol of athletic achievement, isn't it?
And for tennis players, it's especially meaningful, I think, because they don't always get to compete as a team.
Yeah, it's a rare opportunity to be part of something bigger, to win for your country.
Yeah, and it adds a whole different layer of pressure and emotion to the matches. For sure. And it's interesting, too, how the timing of the Olympics can sometimes work in a player's favor or against them, right?
Yeah, depending on where they are in their career,
Right.
are they peaking at the right time?
Exactly.
Okay, so the year Djokovic took home that Olympic gold was C, 2024. Remember we were talking about the career goal in the slam earlier?
Yes.
Well, this is what completed it for him.
Makes it even more special, right?
Totally.
All right, question 11. This one is about the Masters 1000s. How many ATP Masters 1000 titles does Djokovic have?
Okay, is it A, 30 titles?
B, 40 titles.
Or C, 50 titles? Now, those Masters 1000s, those are the next level down from the Grand Slams. They're still incredibly prestigious.
Yeah, these are the biggest non-Grand Slam events on the tour. Winning them consistently, it really shows that a player's at the top of their game for the whole season, not just for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's all about that consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is, Djokovic has won a whopping B40 Masters 1000 titles.
That's a lot of trophies.
That's a lot of hardware right there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Question 12. This one is about those really tough matches against the best players. Which of the following records does Djokovic hold when it comes to winning against top 10 players?
So we're talking, is it
A, the most wins in a single season? That's 31 wins.
B, the most total wins throughout his career, which is 260?
Or C, both A and B?
Now, consistently beating those top 10 guys, that takes something special. I mean, these are the best players in the world. Every match is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, you've got to be playing at like 110% every single time you step on the court.
Exactly. And to hold records in this category, well, that shows you're not just good, you're mentally tough.
You can handle the pressure, and you can deliver when it matters most.
Yep.
So the answer is C, both A and B. He holds both records.
Wow, that's remarkable. That's a real testament to his dominance over such a long period of time.
He's been beating the best for like his entire career.
It's impressive.
It really is.
Okay, question 13. We are stepping back in time for this one. What major achievement did Djokovic accomplish in 2015? Was it
A, winning all 4 Grand Slam titles in a single year?
B, winning 3 Grand Slam singles titles and finishing the year as world number 1?
Or C, winning 10 ATP titles across all 3 main court surfaces, grass, clay, and hard court?
2015, man, that was a special year for Djokovic.
Yeah, he was on fire.
Absolutely. He really showcased his versatility, winning tournaments on all surfaces and just dominating the competition.
Yeah, he was just relentless. Okay, so what was that big achievement in 2015?
The correct answer is C, winning 10 ATP titles across all 3 main court surfaces.
You know, it's interesting. He did come close to winning all 4 Grand Slams that year, but it's still a remarkable achievement to win 10 titles across all surfaces.
Yeah, absolutely. Shows his adaptability and consistency.
Okay, question 14. Against which of these tennis legends does Djokovic have a winning head-to-head record? Now, it's always a big talking point when we're comparing players, right?
Yeah, especially when we're talking about some of the best to ever do it.
So is it A, Roger Federer,
B, Rafael Nadal,
or C, both A and B?
Head-to-head records, they really matter, especially when you're trying to figure out who's got the edge in a rivalry. If you've got a winning record against your main competitor, well, that says something.
Yeah, it shows you've been able to consistently outperform them in those crucial matches.
It's a big psychological factor, too, don't you think?
For sure. And the answer, against whom does Djokovic have a winning head-to-head record?
Drum roll, please.
It is C, both A and B.
Wow.
Both Federer and Nadal.
That's huge. I mean, we're talking about 2 guys who are considered among the greatest tennis players of all time.
Arguably, 2 of the greatest athletes in any sport.
To have a winning record against both of them, that's incredible. Really puts his achievements in perspective.
It really does. All right, moving on to question number 15. How many times has Djokovic won the ATP Finals tournament? This one's for the true tennis fans out there.
Yeah, the ATP Finals, it's like the exclusive club, right? Only the top 8 singles players in the world get to compete.
So it's A, 5 times.
B, 7 times.
Or C, 9 times.
Winning this tournament, it's a big deal. It's a great way to cap off a successful season, proving you're one of the very best.
It's like the ultimate test against the toughest competition.
And it's always held in a cool location.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the answer is B, 7 times.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and it equals Roger Federer's record.
Wow, so they're tied at the top.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Okay, question 16. Now, this one is not about on-court achievements. This is about what he does off the court. What is the name of the prestigious award Djokovic received in recognition of his humanitarian efforts?
So we have A, the Arthur Ashe Humanitarian Award.
B, the Laureus World Sports Award.
Or C, the ITF World Champion Award.
It's always great to see athletes using their platform to make a difference in the world.
Absolutely, and Djokovic has really done a lot of good work.
Yeah, he's really committed to giving back.
And this particular award acknowledges that.
Yeah, it recognizes all those efforts to make a positive impact beyond the tennis court.
Yeah, so the answer is A, the Arthur Ashe Humanitarian Award.
Named after one of the greats.
Yeah, and it's a really fitting tribute, I think, to both Ashe and Djokovic.
It really is. Okay, question 17. In what year did Djokovic win his first Wimbledon title?
Wimbledon. It's the most iconic tennis tournament in the world.
The history, the tradition.
The grass courts, the strawberries and cream, the all-white outfits.
It's just something special.
And to win there for the first time, well, that's a dream come true for any tennis player.
Definitely a career-defining moment.
Absolutely. So was it.
You ever be 2010 or C, 2012? I have a feeling a lot of people will remember this one.
I think so, too. It was a big moment.
And Djokovic's first victory at Wimbledon came in B, 2011.
And that was just the beginning of his success at the All England Club.
Yeah, he's gone on to win a lot more since then. Okay, question 18. This one might be a little tricky. What is the name of the tournament where Djokovic first completed the career Golden Masters? Now, this one is for the true tennis enthusiasts.
Yeah, this is deep-cut tennis knowledge right here.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, the career Golden Masters, it means you've won all 9 of the different Masters 1000 tournaments at least once.
Yeah, and that's a huge accomplishment. It shows you can win on different surfaces and different conditions against all the best players in the world.
You've got to be adaptable.
Yeah, versatile. It's a true test of a player's all-around game.
And Djokovic was the first player to ever achieve this feat, which is amazing.
So at which tournament did he finally lock it down? Was it
A, Indian Wells.
B, the Miami Open?
Or C, the ATP Finals?
Yeah.
And the answer is A, Indian Wells.
Oh, Indian Wells. It's a beautiful setting for that achievement, too.
Yeah, it's a great tournament.
All right, question 19. On which of the 3 main court surfaces, grass, clay, or hard court, is Djokovic considered to be the most dominant?
Okay, so we have A, grass,
B, clay,
or C, hard court.
So as we've mentioned before, tennis is played on these 3 main surfaces, and each one demands a slightly different style of play. Some players are specialists, they really excel on just one type of court, but Djokovic, he's always been known for being adaptable.
Yeah, he can play on any surface and be competitive.
Yeah.
But there's one where he really seems to excel.
Yeah, where his game just clicks perfectly. So which surface is that?
It is C, hard court.
The numbers don't lie. He's won the most titles on hard courts.
Yeah, it's definitely his most dominant surface.
Okay, question 20. How many Davis Cup titles has Djokovic won with Serbia? Now this one, it's all about national pride.
Yeah, the Davis Cup. It's a big deal for a lot of players.
It's that unique opportunity to compete as a team, to represent your country.
So is it A, 1,
League 2,
or C, 3? Winning the Davis Cup, it's like this huge emotional experience for the players and for the fans back home.
Totally. And for Djokovic, who's known for being so focused on individual achievements, this is a chance to experience victory in a totally different way.
As part of something bigger than himself.
Yeah. And the answer is A, 1 Davis Cup title.
Which is still an amazing achievement.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not many players get to experience that.
Okay, we're getting close to the end. Question 21. This one's about those Grand Slams again. What unique distinction does Djokovic hold in terms of his performance at all 4 major tournaments? Now, this is pretty special.
Yeah, this really highlights his consistency at the very top level of the sport.
All right, so is it A, he is the only player in history to win all 4 major titles exclusively on hard courts?
B, he's the only male player in history to win each of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments at least 3 times?
Or C, he is the only player in the Open era to win all 4 Grand Slam tournaments consecutively in a single season? So what sets Djokovic apart from all the other great champions?
The answer is B. He is the only male player in history to win each of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments at least 3 times.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, and that shows you, he's not just good on one surface. He's mastered them all. He's won everywhere.
He's conquered every challenge.
Exactly.
All right, question 22. Which major tournament has Djokovic won in both his 20s and his 30s, demonstrating his incredible longevity at the top?
So is it
A, the U.S. Open.
B, the French Open.
Or C, all of the above? To stay at the top of any sport for that long, it takes a lot of hard work, dedication, and probably a little bit of luck, too.
Yeah, you got to avoid those major injuries, stay motivated, keep evolving your game. Not many athletes can do it.
But Djokovic has. And the answer is C, all of the above.
He's won them all: U.S. Open, French Open, Wimbledon, Australian Open in both his 20s and 30s. That's amazing. It just shows, his commitment to excellence over such a long period of time.
Yeah, that's rare to see that kind of sustained success.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost there. Question 23. What was particularly remarkable about Djokovic's 2015 season, the year when he won 3 out of the 4 Grand Slams? Was it?
A, he lost only 1 match in total throughout the entire season.
B, he reached the final of every single tournament he participated in.
Or C, both A and B. We've talked about 2015 a few times, but it was such a dominant year, it's worth digging into a little deeper.
Yeah, it was one of the best seasons by any tennis player ever. So what made it so special?
The answer is C, both A and B.
Wow, he lost just 1 match all year.
And reached every final he played.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's the definition of dominance, right?
Absolutely. All right, almost done. Just 2 more questions. Question 24. In which city was Novak Djokovic born?
Okay, so where did this tennis legend's journey begin? Was it in
A, Belgrade, Serbia.
B, Zagreb, Croatia.
Or C, Ljubljana, Slovenia.
You know, it's always interesting to look back at where a player came from. It gives you a little bit of context, helps you understand their journey a little bit better.
For sure. And the answer is A, Belgrade, Serbia.
All right, last question, question 25. As of March 2025, how many children does Novak Djokovic have?
Okay, so we have A, 1,
E2.
or C, 3.
We've been talking a lot about his accomplishments on the court, but it's important to remember that he's also a family man.
Yeah, and family plays a huge role in his life.
Definitely. So the answer is B, 2 children.
Well, that was our deep dive into the career of Novak Djokovic through this quiz format.
Yeah, hopefully you had some fun with it, maybe learned a thing or two along the way.
I mean, his accomplishments are just amazing. We talked about the Grand Slams, his time at #1, those incredible records he holds against top 10 players, his dominance at the Australian Open, the career Golden Slam, and so much more.
It's hard to sum it all up, really.
It is. He's just had such a profound impact on the sport.
Yeah.
But as we wrap things up, here's something to think about. What does it really take to achieve that kind of sustained excellence, to stay at the top of your game for so long?
Yeah, what drives someone like Djokovic to keep pushing, to keep striving for more?
It's a good question. What are those qualities, that mindset, that separates the truly great from everyone else?
Definitely something to think about.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll be back soon to explore another fascinating topic.